Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Ram. Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Ram.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Thursday. It is 6th of March. Govinda Masa, Phalguna Masa, Sukla Paksham, and Ashtami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnava events today in the calendar. So we shall quickly move to the daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami describing to Parikshit Maharaj how Vidura was insulted by Duryodhana and what kind of words he had used like that in the last session. So Duryodhana was charging Vidura in such a way that he is crooked and he is the spy of the Pandavas. And though he is eating food from the Dhritarashtra's palace, still he is supporting the Pandavas. And he also mentioned that he is son of a maid servant. Likewise, so many very peaceful words he has used towards the Vidura. Kayenam atropa juhavadihmam dasyaha sutam yad balinaiva pushtaha tasmin patipaha parakrutya aste nirvyasatam asu purat swasanaha. Just send him away from the palace, just keeping only breath in his body. Apart from that, take everything, all kinds of properties from him. Likewise, Duryodhana insulted Vidura. Very, very harshful words. So today, Sukadeva Goswami is saying how Vidura has received these words. And so Vidura, he was about to leave the palace, so he has got the bow in his hand. He kept the bow in next to the palace, and then understanding the nature of this Maya, the external energy of the Lord, it is so influenced that Duryodhana is acting so harshfully towards him. He left the palace of the Dhritarashtra, and though it was his heart was pierced by the words which are like arrows through the ears, and then it hurt the Vidura's heart. And then, so after that, now understanding those Maya about the external energy of the Lord, so now he is not worrying about anything further. And then he left so that he can engage all of his whole of life to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the devotional service. Okay, so he was also wondered how this Maya acts in everyone's life. It is not only to the Vidura, but it happens in everyone's life. Everyone's life. There is no exception. It happens in everyone's life. Some people may act as a wife, as a brother, as a son, as a daughter, as a friend. They will use these harshful words. Somewhere or other, we face these kind of situations. So here, when we are put up in such kind of situations, how we need to act, because they are destined to be punished by the divine nature automatically, whoever is using. So that's why Krishna always says, Anudvekaram Vakyam Satyam Priya Hitam Jayat Swadhyaya Abhyasanam Chaiva Vangmayam Tapa Uchyate. This is Vangmayam, Vak. It is a speech, austerity of the speech. It needs to be always Satyam Priyam Hitam Chayat, always pleasing, truthful. And even though sometimes it is true, we should not speak if it is hurting the others. Just an example, like whenever Vidura coming to Pandavas and trying to explain about his pilgrimage, and also at that time Krishna has also disappeared along with all the Yadu family, but he did not speak the truth because they will come to know. Otherwise, they will suffer more by hearing this bad news. So, likewise, here Duryodhana is speaking, even though here Vidura is son of maid servant, but still he should not be speaking those things very harshfully. So here, uh, Sukadeva Goswami describing how Vidura has acted. Here we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, first chapter, verse number 16. स्वयं धनुध्वारि निधाय मायां भ्रातुः पुरो मर्मसु ताडितोऽपि स यत्तमुल्बनकर्णभानैः गतव्यतो अयाद्गुरुमानयानहम् स्वयं धनुर्ध्वारि निधाय मायां स्वयं धनुर्ध्वारि. So personally, he himself, Danuhu is the bow. And what he did, Dwari Nidaya, he kept that bow next to the palace, next to the door. Dwari is the entrance of the palace. Swayam Dhanudwari Nidaya Mayam. So the external nature. So this Mayam is going to support all these things, all the bad things has happened. That Vidura understands Mayam. Bratuhu Puro, Bratuhu. So his brothers from the Bratuhu Puraha. It is a palace of Dhritarashtra. So he kept that bow there. And Marmasu Taditopi. And in the core of the heart, being afflicted, Taditaha, being afflicted, Api. So in spite of that, Sayetam, the Vidura, like this, Ati Vulbhanena Karnabanaihi. Ati Vulbhanena, very severely, and he was hurt very severely. He was hurt in the core of the heart. Through what? Through ear and Banaihi by the arrows. These harshful words, Karna Banaihi. The words, the speech, it is a comparison like a very the peaceful arrows through the ears, and they will directly go into the core of the heart and afflict the person whoever is hearing. So now Vidura is afflicted like that. Sayittam ati ulbhanena karnabhanaihi gatavyataha gatavyataha. So now without being sorry, ayad guru. So ayad, he is now excited, guru, in a great excitement, ayad guru manayanaha. So in thinking like that, what he is thinking? The maya, about the mayam, how the extended energy of the Lord, it acts on a person, and so that even though there is no fault from the Vidura side, the opposite people speak in such a harshful words that hurt the heart of a saintly people. And then thinking in such a way, now he is ready to depart. So he has kept the bow there, and now he is leaving the palace of uh, Dhritarashtra. So this is again seeing the same picture yesterday what we have seen. So this is Vidura is kept his bow there into the door entrance, and Vidura is leaving now. So Duryodhana is still is pointing towards the Vidura. Okay, so स्वयं धनुध्वारि निधाय मायं भ्रातुः पुरो मर्मसु ताडितोऽपि सैत्तम् उल्बण कर्णबाणैः गतव्यतो अयाद् गुरुमानयानः. The translation for this was, thus being pierced by arrows through his ears and afflicted to the core of his heart, Vidura placed his bow on the door and quit his brother's palace. He was not sorry, for he considered the acts of the external energy to be supreme. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so do we have Hangman Bantaji with us? Okay, so can I request any unallocated devotees to read the purport, please?
Arjun Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. A pure devotee of the Lord is never perturbed by an awkward position created by the eternal energy of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 3:27, it is stated, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha an ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. A conditioned soul is observed in material existence under the influence of different modes of external energy. Absorbed in the false ego, he thinks that he is doing everything by himself. The external energy of the Lord, the material nature, is fully under the control of the Supreme Lord, and the conditioned soul is fully under the grip of the external energy. Therefore, the conditioned soul is fully under the control of the law of the Lord, but due to the illusion only, he thinks himself independent in the activities. Duryodhan was acting under such influence of the external nature, by which he would be vanquished at the ultimate end. He could not accept the sound advice of Vidura, but on the contrary, he insulted that great soul who was the well wisher of his whole family. Vidura could understand this because he was a pure devotee of the Lord. In spite of being very strongly insulted by Duryodhan, his words, Vidura could see that Duryodhan, under the influence of Maya, the external energy, was making progress on a path toward his own ruination. He therefore considered the acts of the external energy to be supreme. Yet he only saw how the internal energy of the Lord helped him in a particular situation. A devotee is always in the renounced temperament because the worldly attractions can never satisfy him. Vidura was never attracted by the royal palace of his brother. He was always ready to leave the palace and devote himself completely to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Now he got the opportunity by the grace of Duryodhan, and instead of being sorry at the wrong words of insult, he thanked him from within, because it gave him the chance to live alone in a holy place and fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. The word Gatavya Taha, without being sorry, is significant here because Vidura was relieved from the tribulations which trouble every man entangled in material activities. He therefore thought that there was no need to defend the brother with his bow because his brother was meant for ruination. Thus he left the palace before Duryodhan could act. Maya, the supreme energy of the Lord, acted here both internally and externally. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So this is a very insightful purport and also the situation how Vidura is acting. So here, if we see our life, there is always some higher level of intelligence which always says this is right, this is not right. When we are purely absorbed in the materialistic activities, sometimes irrespective of those intelligence, We wanted to engage, which is giving pleasure to our senses. And then, okay, let's keep this intelligence. I know these things are right, but I wanted to do this right now. This is how we keep the higher intelligence aside and activate, always engage ourselves in the materialistic activities. This always there. It always gives instructions to us. But okay, for now, this is the right thing for me. It is comfortable for me. I will do it like that. And then keep on doing. By the time takes our life energy, and we will become old, no more energetic. So at that time also the intelligence can come and then knock our door. You are not doing the right thing. Still you are engaging in the materials and materialistic activities in the sense gratification. Then if we do not take that one, then the instructions of the higher intelligence. So what happens? It is the path of the ruination. This is what happens to Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana and company. So, but here everything is happening by the Prakritehi Kriyamanani Gunehi Karmani Sarvashaha Ahankari Mudatma Kartahamiti Manyate. So the nature is arranges according to the one's desire. But outside things are happening, but internally it happens to us according to our internal desire. So a pure devotee of the Lord is never perturbed by the awkward position created by the external energy of the Lord. So if we see in both ways, one, if we are getting sense gratifications, we are okay. But still, if it is according to the Vedic injunctions as per the Varnashrama Dharma, then it is acceptable because it is conducive to the devotional service. Otherwise, it is not. So they are under the clutches of the Maya. So otherwise, absorbed in the false ego, he thinks that he is doing everything by himself. External energy of the Lord, the material nature is fully under the control of the Supreme Lord. So this is again Maya. Whenever it does not hurt the devotees, because devotee, as long as devotee is holding the lotus feet of Krishna, and Maya is always behind Krishna. Mayam chitad apashriyam and Vilajamana. She is shows shy that she cannot come in front of Krishna. And also devotee is in front of Krishna at the lotus feet of the Krishna. So she does not come in front of Krishna. So here, a conditioned soul who is trying to enjoy the sense gratification, so because of is too much of absorbed in that, he doesn't know what is right, what is not right. At the time, he speaks so many harsh words. If something comes in between for when he is trying to fulfill his sense gratification, he gets too much angry. And he thinks himself independent in his activities. But Duryodhana was acting under such influence of the external nature, by which he would be vanquished. This is Daiva Vadan. He will be punished by the divine. So this is again says, Brahma says this one. So um, Lord Shiva says to Sati Devi, again repeating those statements, Atar bihinna vetite silimukaihi setu ardhitango hrudayena dhuyata. स्वानाम यथा वक्रध्याम धुरुक्तभिः divanshim tapiti marmataditaha. When people speak the harsh words, it will directly go on to pierce the heart directly. Marmataditaha. Just now here, marmasu taditopi. The same words have been used for Vidura as well. He was hurt in the core of his heart. So that they are more powerful than the actual material arrows. The arrows are made up of the iron or something like that. These words are more sharper than those things. That's why Brahma says that one again. So he says, Pradigdiha karmadusho dhurasayaha parodayena hruddrujo nisham parandhruptaihi vidhunti arundhada tan ma avadit daivavadan bhavidvidaha. So devotees or saintly persons, they do not say any single word opposite to them. They are punished by their words. They will be vanquished at the ultimate. So this is what uh, Duryodhana's endeavor. He is making the path for his ruination. He could not accept the sound advice of Vidura, but on the contrary, he insulted that great soul who was the well-wisher of his whole family. Vidura could understand this because he was a pure devotee of the Lord. Pure devotee of the Lord, sarvaihi gunaihi tatra samasate suraha. They will have all good qualities. But in spite of being very strongly insulted by Duryodhana's words, Vidura could see that Duryodhana, under the influence of Maya, external energy, was making progress on the path towards his own ruination. So they act in such a way, यस्मिन् यदा पुष्करनाभमाय पृथग्दृशः कर्मदोषो this is again Brahma again says yasmin yada pushkaranabhamaya. This is by the external energy of the Lord. But here he mentions that kurvantatrihi anukampaye krupam na sadho dhayo bhalat krute kramam. Because the devotees they do not say anything. Na sadho dhayo bhalat. Because they are always engaging in the austerities and penances. They should not use their strength on the people who are bewildered by the external energy of the Lord. Kurvant tatrihi anukampaye krupam. Even though they are acting, even though Duryodhana is acting with fearful and harshful words, then devotees nasadavo daiva bhalat krute kramam. They should not act in their by using their strength. But sometimes we see some of the great sages they have cursed other people if they get angry. But when we see in the case of Ambarish Maharaj or Parikshit Maharaj or Vidura, they are not counteracting those words. Simply they take it. This is what the Brahma has said to Lord Shiva as well. Of course, these are the statements what we have to extract from the scriptural injunctions. So he therefore considered the acts of external energy to be supreme. Yet he also saw the internal energy of the Lord helped him in that particular situation. So this one side of the angle is people who are on sense gratification, they will be punished. But for the devotee side, in the other side, the Lord's internal energy, it acts, it helps on the devotee. So that is again we see how Parikshit was saved, how Ambarish Maharaj was saved, how Vidura is saved. A devotee is always in a renounced temperament. He does not react. Na asya tat pratikurvanti Tadbhaktaha prabhuvopihi, even though they are powerful enough to counteract, but they don't act. Renounce your temperament because the worldly attractions can never satisfy him. Vidura was never attracted by royal palace of his brother. He was always ready to leave the place and devote himself completely to the transcendent loving service of the Lord. This is what they always Atma Rama. Atma Rama Shamunayu Nirghandapi Gurukrami Kuruvante Kim Bhaktimit Itam Bhuta Guno Harehi. So here now he got the opportunity by the grace of Duryodhana, and instead of being sorry at the strong words of insult, he thanked him from within because within his heart it gave him the chance to live alone in a holy place and fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. This also we see in our sometimes in our life. Some people say something and we give up some of the sense gratification. Of course, for time being, it is a bit hard, but later on we realize, yes, the Lord has helped us. And Gatavyadaha, without being sorry, is significant here because Vidura was relieved from the tribulations which trouble every man entangled in materialistic activities. So that is this is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyati Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. Okay, so he therefore thought that there was no need to defend his brother with his bow because his brother was meant for ruination. See, Dhritarashtra, he is meant for ruination because he is allowing Duryodhana to speak in such a way. He could check his son, but because Bhishma, Drona, and everyone are there to support whatever king is there. Bhishma's word is, whoever is sitting on the throne, I will support him, whatever he wanted to do it. If Dhritarashtra says that I will punish Duryodhana because of his not acting accordingly, then Bhishma is able to protect him, but he is not doing that. But because he is always affectionate to his dishonest children. So thus he left the palace before Duryodhana could act. Maya, the supreme energy of the Lord, acted here both internally and externally. Internal energy happens to It applies to devotees. External energy applies to the materialistic people. Yes, likewise, Prabhupada is very giving insightful purport here. Uh, so understanding, so the same instances, hearing from the devotees in one reflection, non-devotees is a different reflections. They don't have any takeaway points. From the devotee side, it attracts to devotional service. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Swayam dhanadhvari nidhaya mayam bratuhu puro marmasu taditope sayet mulbhana gannabanehi gatavyata अयाद्वुरुमानयानः गतव्यतय अयाद्वुरुमानयानः. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Jai. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Balimadana, um, July 15th, 1970, Los Angeles. Okay, so can I request any other unallocated devotees, please, to read the, it's not long letter, small one only. Okay, I shall read in that case. So, okay, my dear Balimadhan, please accept my blessings. I am so glad to receive your letter dated 8th July, and I was expecting to receive it every moment. So, Tirtha Father has gone there, and that is a good news. So, all of you are experienced devotees. I have already written two letters separately, one to Upendra and one to Tirtha Father. Now, combinedly go on with your preaching work. I am very glad to know that you are keeping your accounts up to date with the Back to Godhead and the book fund. This is good and proper management. So you continue to keep these accounts weekly. I am also very glad to know that you think Melbourne a good place for establishing a temple and you are eager to accept this establishment of temples in the Australia area as your life and soul. Yes, I have taken this work as my life and soul on the order of my spiritual master. Similarly, if you take my desires as life and soul, then the whole thing is immediately connected with Krishna. That is the meaning of Parampara system. None of the activities are personal affairs. It comes only through the proper channel. Otherwise, each and every activity is directly connected with Krishna. It is received through the spiritual master, but the business is for Krishna, as much as an office superintendent is the via media for pleasing the ultimate master. Kindly execute the deity worship very properly. Upendra has got good experience. Tirtha Father has also got good experience. Follow the program as we are doing in Los Angeles and London. I think all of you are twice initiated, so there will be no difficulty in executing the deity worship. Our Nectar of Devotion and Krishna are already published, and these two books alone can keep anyone in Krishna consciousness perpetually. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so dear devotees, any takeaway points you wanted to highlight in this letter? Okay, so in this letter, Prabhupada is mentioning, so encouraging Upendra and encouraging Balimadana, so to keep going. So you're doing very nicely, maintaining all accounts with regards to back to Godhead and book funds, and that suggesting to maintain them weekly, and also the preaching process, just supporting and encouraging them. Combinedly go on with your preaching, combinedly with cooperation. And also, as it seems, Balimadana mentioned that he wanted to establish more temples in Australia. So Prabhupada is saying that is good because on the order of my spiritual master, I took it as his life and soul and trying to establish all temples. If you take my desire as your life and soul, if you also do that, then everything is connected to Krishna. Evam parampara praptam imam rajasya viduhu. That is the parampara system. So none of the activities are personal affairs. Okay, so when it is directly connected to Krishna, we are all empowered. Just the electric switches in between, we should be always on. As soon as the transformer is giving the electricity, that is passing through all of us, all the switches. Okay, so that is how it is the Evam Parampara system. So Krishna, as much as any office superintendent, is the via media, we are all media. Krishna is the superintendent to please the ultimate master. We need to please Krishna there. Okay, so that is about that one. And also just for the deity worship, we need to keep the deities worship in the high standard. And we need to have a trained disciples how to uh, perform deity worship. And here Prabhupada twice initiated. That is the qualification. And also to keep one in Krishna consciousness completely. So always follow Nectar of Devotion and Krishna. These two books are very helpful to keep in Krishna consciousness perpetually. Okay, these are the few points Prabhupada is mentioning. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Krishna book reading at 8 p.m. Okay, so that's all from the update side from me. And the devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Just coming back to the verse, what an amazing example for us in material world about Vidura's example, how he managed anger and hurt. He dovetailed it in a different way, where he devoted his service to the Lord, and the Lord rewarded him in a way that he by his action he nourished his internal world, and not because in this material world, what do we do? When we hurt, straight away we want revenge, and so you retaliate in a way that you're showing the other person and people around you that, oh, I'm gonna win this, he's not gonna get one over me. And Vidura did not do that. He trusts the Lord, and he trusts his internal um, revenge in a way that he poured his activities in serving the Lord, and he got the sweetest, blissful life by doing that, which is amazing. But Prabhu, I'd like to ask a question on that, because often you hear the best service you can do is serve your enemy, be kind to your enemy, turn and give your enemy more attention than anybody else. What do you say to that?
So we also treat, for example, Jarasandha and Krishna, Arjuna, Bhima. So this is an example. Whenever before the Rajaswaya sacrifice, Krishna advised Yudhishthira that Krishna, Arjuna, Bhima, three will go to the Jarasandha and ask for a fight. And Jarasandha, he is also devotee of Vishnu. And also he is to perform so many, he is inclined towards the charity, towards the Brahmanas and everything, but he is envious of Krishna. So, but they have these people, Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima, they have disguised as Brahmanas and went to him and then asked for duel. And then he accepted. Later on, Krishna revealed their true identities that I'm Krishna, I'm your enemy. But Jarasandha, though he is enemy, Krishna is his enemy, but he treated him. He did not do anything because he has given his words. And in the throughout the daytime, he used to fight with Bhima, and in the nighttime, they're just like a friends. That is how In our Sanatan Dharma, even though he is enemy, one has to uh, treat him very nicely when he is coming, when he is at his home, when he has got an opportunity to serve him. So full attention, giving full attention, it is not full. I do not know how we give full attention. We have got many other activities as well. Unless we have got so much of time to spend, yeah, we try to help the even the enemy as well to come into Krishna consciousness in such a way, keeping only Krishna. So Ishvaro Jivakalaya Pravisto Bhagavaniti. So thinking that Lord is also in the heart of enemy. But we are devotees are Ajata Shatruhu. They do not have any enemies. Ajata Shatruha Chantaha Sadavaha Sadabhushanaha. But we don't have. So only we keep only Krishna in the heart. In such a way we render service. But how deep that service is, it is up to us at the time, place, and circumstances. That depends. But that is yes, it is as per the scriptures. It is to be done or accepted, authorized.
But also you also get um the scripture says that keep good association, not so in a way you are uh, associating with the enemy who are non-devotees.
So non-devotee associating with them, and devotee knows his position. He is only to give the association, not to take the association.
All right, okay.
But again, if he is inclined, he still has having that taste of opposite enemy, that to just speaking opposite to him, fighting him, such kind of quarreling things, then we cannot help. So that means still he needs to develop towards the sadhu qualifications. He's not yet sadhu yet, but still in the beginning stages, or somewhere other in the level of the sadhu to become a pure sadhu, pure devotee. So if he is like in the beginning stages, he needs to avoid such kind of bad associations, though he is enemy, or he does not try to, for example, when he has got less strength, he cannot go and fight with a bigger enemy. Once he is fully equipped with all good qualities, then he will have only can give all the good qualities to the others. So again, depends on the strength of the devotional service of a devotee, how much he austerities, penances that he has got, and completely devoted to Krishna. Okay, so hope that helps, Mataji.
Yeah, I think what it's pointing to, it shouldn't stop you to be kind to them, but
Yeah,
doesn't mean you associate. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees, or we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay, so we shall conclude. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां
Taram
पावनेभ्यो
Pavanebhyo
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Vaishnavebhyo
नमो
Namo
नमः
Namaha. Anantakoti
अनन्तकोटि
Vaishnavrinda
वैष्णववृन्द की
Ki Jai.
जय शिल
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.